Hello everybody and welcome back to Ruling the Cloud. Yeah. So continuing from last episode here, I've done a bit of work and I figured out a couple things that kind of take care of a couple of problems I've had with this thing. Let me just kill this guy. There we go. So the issue I had with it kind of pushing me out, I solved with putting in some more slime blocks here. It kind of gives it so I have something to lean against. It makes it a little bit more narrow, so for when I have to move up animals, which is what I'm going to be using this for as well, which is why it's 2x2, I'm going to have to put in something that retracts these. There we go. Oh! So yeah, it works up all the way to the top there, but as you saw, it shot me off because the top part, it doesn't have that wall yet. But so far, this is actually a pretty good height. This goes to about where I think the first level of the base is going to be. I might have to extend it a bit. Oops. That'll work out a little better when I put something to lean against in the back here. It'll have to be like furnaces or something, just because sticky piston pushes up. I don't want to pull something down. There we go. That time it worked. So, wow, this view is amazing. This place is going to look really cool once we build it up, but what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be kind of building up this outer ring area here. Just to kind of give it a little bit more of an outer shape so you're not looking at just a giant sticky piston tower thing. Just a second here. There we go. There we go. Okay, so, yeah, so the resources that I gathered to help us build this, I've got a bunch of different blocks here, a whole bunch of coal and smooth stone that we'll be using to kind of build the outer wall. I have some hardened clay as well, which will be coloring, some sand for glass, and we'll kind of work out the design here. Now, the outer, the design I'm going for is kind of like an upside down pyramid. I'm going to have like the outer ring go up and then kind of continue outward a bit and then up again. And it's just going to kind of encircle everything here. Along with a different stone I got, I also went ahead and... where is it? Here it is. All the wood that we're going to be using for the build as well. Tools and just kind of like the inside. So what we're going to do now first is I need some coal to put in these furnaces because this entire build is going to take an insane amount of smooth stone because I'm planning to use the smooth stone bricks and well, just even for like the redstone on the inside, we're going to need a lot. All right, here we are. So finished making the pillar. Now let's see how many we can get. You know, one stack might actually not be enough. I have just under a stack. And that's probably about halfway. I'll divide it up for now. It should hopefully be enough just to make a couple more stacks. I forget how coal is. It really shows I haven't played in a while. Okay. So let's see how much we got. Just a bit. I think blocks are better in the furnaces. I think they last longer. I might be wrong. I honestly don't recall. We'll try out coal blocks for now and see how that goes. Oops. Seems to last pretty good. Yeah, so I'll put one in each of them for now to help me smelt the stack and see how far it gets with one block. Hopefully I can get pretty far. Put 2 blocks in this one. Yeah. Alright. So this will be a good test. I also have some more here. This will help me figure out exactly how many I can use for it. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is to start building the wall here. Let me think. We'll start on this side here. So I've kind of worked out a kind of design that I want to go with in creative already, which is why I know how much I'm going to actually need, and I've decided on smooth stone as being the main block that we build with. My favorite block is quartz, but I don't think building this thing out of quartz is a very smart idea. We are going to be using a lot of staircase blocks, though, because staircase is my favorite block type to use, and it gives a lot more detail to a build. So I'm going to... So this part here is going to kind of be like the bottom outer area, and it's going to be like the base of the build itself. So I'm going to put just a couple staircase blocks here. The outer ring on the bottom is going to stay the same for the most part, and then we're just going to build upward and outward. Now, this is going to be the kind of... What I'm using with the staircase here is I'm kind of giving it a nice groove on the inside to kind of give it a little bit more detail here. Let's get rid of these because it changes the way it looks. There we go. Okay, next thing we're going to need also is for a bit more of the detail work and to add a little bit of separate color. We have andesite, and I want to get some hardened clay as well. Now I'm thinking either blue hardened clay or maybe some cyan, but cyan is a little too close to gray. I think the blue is enough of a difference in color to give it a little bit more detail. I'm thinking we're going to do kind of like 3 pillars, and then we'll go 1 block inward, and we'll use that 1 block as kind of the blue part. Let me just see how this looks. Alright, so this is going to kind of give it like a bottom part for the pillar in the middle. Go up about 3 blocks. Same on these sides. Okay, and then we'll have kind of, like I said, inside 1 block, we'll have the blue. This should hopefully give it enough of a color. Now, the only thing is at night, it might be a little too dark, so I might choose a different color. I might choose like a stronger color, maybe like red. Let's see how this looks. Kind of go up again. Sorry, I'm trying to decide if this is high enough or if I should go up 1 more block. I'm also kind of working out how each of the different floors are going to be as well, because with each floor I finish, I go out about 1 or more blocks, and then I continue upward again. Let's see. That's not exactly what I wanted. Maybe if I put a block on this one first. There we go. Yeah, so we'll go up 1 more block like that. It's kind of just mirroring the bottom of the pillar here. The bottom of the wall itself. I'm going to continue it on this side as well. This is going to be a very build-focused episode. I'm trying to build and talk at the same time, so it's going to take some getting used to, that's for sure. I'll hopefully get better at this as we go. This pillar needs to go up again. And then I'll continue it outward here, or should I go up 1 more? Maybe... Yeah. But if I put it there, you won't be able to see it because it's going to cover it. Maybe I'll use like half-stone slabs to kind of continue this out area. So as you can see here, I'm wrapping around the bottom spot here. I'm going to build up the walls on the bottom there. And then this is going to be the bottom of the next floor. It's wrapping around kind of what's going to be the outer wall. And I'll continue it upward as well. Now, the only thing is I'm going to have to double check these staircase blocks after, because I don't know. Sometimes they do the weird thing where they don't actually go the way you place it. I don't know why. It's just what it does. All right, let's take a little bit of let's take a look at this thing, see how it turned out. Yeah, that's a good start. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to continue that wall. Most likely half-stone slabs. The part in front of it at the top, I mean. So for this wall here, I'm going to kind of just build it up straight. With each floor we go, I'll add up more detail to it, but because this is the base floor here, I'm just going to kind of keep it a little bit more kept and basic. And I see that creeper. I see you, creeper. I don't have a bow and arrow. I'm just going to have to be careful and hopefully he doesn't blow up anything. That's one thing I actually haven't gone and done, is I haven't lit up this island yet. Oh well. It's getting there, it's getting there. This is a good start. Let me just take another look at this thing. So yeah, that looks pretty good. That'll continue wrapping around both sides. And I'll probably kind of copy the same design up to the next floor. Okay, so here it is, the next floor. I went ahead and built it. It's just a mirror of the bottom design and just kind of doubled up. Same kind of tricks I used on the first floor. Just as you can see there, there's like that groove on the inside. It's the same as the blocks on the bottom. I continued the next floor going outward again. And you can see here it kind of gives a nice effect at the bottom. Also went ahead and got some slime blocks. Oh, I love slime blocks for scaffolding. So as you can see, I kind of have like this cool little design here using staircase and half slabs. This is the kind of design I want to have for this build on each of the different floors. It gives, I find staircase blocks and half slabs, when you put it in any kind of build, it gives it an amazing effect, and it just looks amazing. I also went ahead and kind of continued this, I continued the slime block elevator up another level here. And, it's how I get to the next floor. I'm just trying to think. You know, I'm just going to build up here, because I'm going to have to repeatedly go up and down between the floors as I look at this thing. Okay, so for the next floor, what we're going to do is I have to continue this staircase wrapping around the second floor to work on the third one, but let me think. I'm going to need some swirl blocks if I remember how to make them. Oh, okay, it's half slabs. Now these are going to kind of act as like the build's jewels until the upper floors I'll use like maybe like diamonds if I get rich, or gold blocks. We have a gold farm. But for the earlier floors here, I'm just going to kind of have this block, and I'm going to continue it around the corners, which means this one should also be like that. I'm going to need a lot of these. They're going to act as like the detail block, something extra to have. And the reason I'm not using a gold block here is because the gold doesn't really fit the design. I'm going to have to figure out how I want to do it. So let me just continue this here. Just like we did on the first floor, for the second floor, we are having the next floor kind of using staircase blocks wrap around it. It gives it a nice cone effect where it looks like it's just a build smoothly continuing upward, which looks really nice. And it gives the effect that I want. Also, you'll notice I kind of only built this front area here, but that's okay. I just kind of want to get an idea for the build with you guys, just working on the front of it, and then I'll go ahead on my own and continue the back. So for the next one, what we're going to do is we're going to use staircase. Now, instead of continuing it outward, like we've been doing, I'm going to continue it back inward. It gives it a nice effect with the stairs, because the way I'm going to do it is it's going to look like there's a... well, actually there is. It's not going to look like it. It gives it... there's a... kind of like an airspace in between the two stairs. You'll see when I build it. It's a really nice effect, and you can use lighting to kind of manipulate the shadows of the staircases. And it looks really nice at nighttime. The only problem is staircase block is my favorite, but it's a little tricky to build with sometimes. And you always gotta go back and take a look at it, just because it doesn't always go the way I want it. It doesn't always go the way you want it to. Yeah. Alright, so this is a good start. The next thing we're gonna do... I'm gonna need a whole bunch of these things, though. I'm just trying to think. How do I start this? Like I said, I built in creative. Let me just go take a quick look at it again. I'll be right back. Okay, and it's raining. Yeah. It's always raining. So I figured out what I did to start out this the next floor here. So we're gonna go backward one here, and we're gonna put a staircase block. Now we're gonna continue this one just like how we have it wrapping around the outside for the next floor. We're gonna have this wrap around on the inside, and you can already see that that effect I was talking about. There's a small little air gap in between the stairs. It's not actually there. It's just how the block works. And if you put lighting behind it, it gives a really nice effect. It's one of the tricks I like to use with building with staircase blocks. Just something you can really easily manipulate and have a really cool effect with. And we are still going to continue the outer wall on the outside. This is just the beginning of it. You'll see as I continue it inward. Now, for the next part, just to kind of keep that effect, we're going to use half slabs. because it'll keep the empty air block, or that empty airspace outward here, and then we'll put a staircase. And this will be the part that wraps around the base. But as you can see here, that bottomless staircase is empty, and it kind of flows as like an archway. And if we put some light behind it, I don't know if I can show this because we do have to build the wall upward a bit. I don't think I can place blocks through it. I have to actually fall. So see, there's like a giant empty space here, and we can use it to hide some lighting. Let's head back up. Scaffolding block, best block. Alright, so it's a little hard to see because the lighting isn't covered too well, but it really gives it a nice effect. This part is a little tricky. So I'm going to continue the half slab design, just kind of wrapping it around all the way. Essentially, it's just covering all of the staircase blocks at the bottom there. It's hard to refer to the same thing while using the same thing, isn't it? It's tricky. So we're going to have this part here, the outer staircase, wrap around the slabs. And continue the effect all the way around. And just turn the rain off. There we go. Now, it might be hard to tell, but it isn't actually cutting off the staircase block underneath. It might look like it's covering it, but there is still a gap if we go and take a look at it. Let me just get this block here. Because I'm going to have to build back up. I may as well go down the same way I went up. Put some more lighting around here. One thing about building this in survival rather than in creative, I have to be very wary of where mobs can spawn. I haven't been doing a very good job of lighting this place up, that's for sure. Alright. That should hopefully... that should be enough for now. I just gotta kind of remember to do that as I build upward. Oh, block. Alright, let's jump back up on our spot. So, it's a little tricky to see. Okay. Yeah, that looks really nice. So you can kind of make it out there. There is still an empty space there. You don't see the inside of the build itself, but you can see that it gives it a nice effect. It's like it's not a complete block, but when we put some more lighting, you'll see what I mean later when I finish expanding this thing. So if you go at just the right height, you can see inside there where the glowstone block is. That won't be there as much because we're going to continue this outwards more. But it looks really cool, especially when you're at the same height. It's going to look like it's kind of like a layer where it's floating. Because it's not technically connected, but it looks really cool. Gives a really nice effect. I'm actually very happy with it. I'm just going to do a little bit more lighting up of the area as we come close to the end of the episode here. This was definitely a more build-focused episode. As you'll see, the next couple are going to be like this because I'm going to be building this place for just for a couple episodes. I want to start my base. I want to make a big... I want to get it done. That's how I am with builds. When I start something, I try to get it done, or focus on getting it finished. I've already worked out some of it in creative, like this staircase effect. I haven't built the whole thing yet, which is what I'm kind of still working on. And we'll be building majority of it together. But that's where I'm going to have to call it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we'll continue building in the next one.